With a week left in summer, officially, the Super Nintendo Classic contest has come to an end, and the winner has been decided. The winner of the Super Nintendo Classic is Colby M. I'll be reaching out to you very soon to get your information so that I can go ahead and send you this here Super Nintendo Classic. As for the remainder of the summer, it's just going to be devoted to wrapping up 16-bit summer stuff, namely the ends of Pulseman, Super Mario World, and Pocky and Rocky, with some other bonus videos tacked on. Yeah, I'd never forgotten the things that I had to finish. I just figured after I started falling behind, what better time to finish them than the end of the summer, just one big old wrap up. And plus, that was my original intention with Mario World anyway, since 9 worlds doesn't really fit into a 7-day week, so yeah, it was always going to close out the summer since I started the summer with it, but minor details. And might as well use this time to do a quick little update here, though not much has really changed. Live a Live will be continuing, and after that I'm going to be doing Wild Guns and Lisa, which I had intended to play during the summer, but things fell through. Though I still want to do them since I planned to do them anyway, and I got the games. Well, to be fair, I've been had Lisa, and I was actually supposed to LP that 2 years ago, but what better time than now? And Bowser's Inside story is still chugging along. Regarding other upcoming videos, once the 16-bit summer videos wrap up, well, like I mentioned in previous videos, we'll be returning to Wii U games, with one that's been a long time in the coming. And once Bowser's Inside story wraps up, which should be around the time October begins, we'll be heading into a spooky game. Not gonna lie, I wasn't all that prepared for October this year. Granted, there's still 2 weeks left before October begins, but I'm trying to be a little more prepared for stuff as opposed to last minute scrambling. Plus, I was very indecisive on what game I want to play for October this year, since I'm trying to keep with the whole tradition of a spooky game during the spooky month. But I did come up with one, building off of last year's LP of Fatal Frame 5, Maiden of the Black Water. I'll be playing Fatal Frame 2. Kind of not doing the Fatal Frames in order, but I don't really consider that a big deal since the stories don't really build off of each other, despite the fact that some characters might show up in between games. Plus, there's also the fact that I saw a lot of outlets call Fatal Frame 2 one of, if not the best horror games of all time. Hilarious that that's kind of a common thing about all of the second games in these various series. A lot of people really love Resident Evil 2. Silent Hill 2 is considered to be one of the best horror games of all times, and then Fatal Frame 2. So yeah, Fatal Frame 2 during the month of October. However, that's not a particularly long game. At least if I'm led to believe how long to beat. But yeah, there's going to need to be something to supplement that, which is why there's going to be a poll. So of the following 5 options, what do you want to see me play during the month of October? First up, we have Resident Evil 2, the remake. Being completely honest, I don't consider myself the biggest Resident Evil fan. I don't hate the series at all, but I just never really played too many of the games. Resident Evil 2 and Code Veronica X are the only ones I've ever played. And that's part of the reason why I chose the remake, since it's a remake of a Resident Evil game I enjoy. So yeah, the survival horror classic remastered. The second option on the poll is Layers of Fear. This was one I had been intending to play for years for the channel. But unfortunately, my computer was never good enough to run and record it at the same time. It could run it just fine, but recording was a bit of a problem. But now, I do have the power to record it. What better time than now to play through this psychological horror game? Speaking of psychological horror, number 3, Deadly Premonition. This is a game I knew literally nothing about. And then the most recent Nintendo Direct happened, and Deadly Premonition 2 was announced, and I was like, oh, okay, cool of them to port that game over to the Switch. But then I see the excitement on Twitter, and then I look into it, and oh, Deadly Premonition 2 didn't even exist up until this announcement. And people are very hype about it. And not knowing anything about the first game, I started looking into it, and it actually sounds pretty good. It's essentially Twin Peaks, the game. And with the first game being ported to Switch, why not give it a shot now? Deadly Premonition, psychological horror at its finest. At least if the reviews are anything to go based off of, because wow, it actually did review really well. Number 4, Fear, or F-E-A-R. I don't know how you read that title, honestly. But yeah, survival horror first-person shooter. It's another series I know nothing about, but I've heard many great things about it over the years from various people. A Western-developed game that takes inspiration from Japanese horror sounds really interesting. And this would be arguably one of the scariest things you will ever see on my channel. Me playing a first-person shooter. Though I'd like to think I did decent enough in BioShock, but whatever. And the final choice in the poll, Ghost Trick Phantom Detective, from the fine folks that brought you Ace Attorney. Granted, it's not really a horror game, but at the same time, the title has ghost and phantom in it, and those tend to be spooky, so kind of fits with the branding of the month. Yeah, it's an adventure game where you're a dead guy trying to solve mysteries, including the biggest one of all. Who the hell killed you? I mean, if I suddenly woke up to find out that I was a ghost, I think I would like to figure that out as well, you know? That seems very relatable. So yeah, those 5 choices once again are Resident Evil 2 Remake, Layers of Fear, Deadly Premonition, Fear, and Ghost Trick Phantom Detective. So them's be the choices. Let the voting commence. Thank you all for participating in the various giveaways I did over the summer, if you did. Hope you all enjoyed the 16-bit videos. Stay tuned for a couple more, and I will see you all next time with something else. Goodbye.